Hi, this is Joe from DMC Finder. We're having a 20-minute questions and answer session with Nick and Wag from APN today. Hi, Nick.
Hi there, Joe. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. You?
Excellent.
Fabulous. Today we're going to go through a few questions together. I'm just going to go through your DMC and what it offers and how clients can use your service to make sure their programs are effective going forward. Let's start with the first question. Nick, would you like to give us a quick introduction to your DMC, please, and your destination?
Yes, certainly. So APN, or to give it its full title, All Points North, is a DMC serving all across the UK. So that's Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And we do meetings, events, incentives, so the MICE sector, for the corporate, and of course for the leisure side, specialist tour groups for such things as if you're into train journeys or architecture, distilleries, sports, and so forth. That's endless, the specialists. So that's sort of in a nutshell. So and there's a huge variety, as I'll talk of, maybe just mention later, huge variety with it across the whole UK.
Fantastic. It's very exciting. We forget what the UK has to offer because it's got so much on our doorstep, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Okay, can you choose one or two destinations within your country and share with us why these places would appeal to groups?
Yes, I thought about this. It was quite challenging, really, because I could give you 100, but of course I'll narrow it down to 2. So it really depends. What do you want, a city centre or a rural location? So what I've done, I've chosen one of each.
Okay.
And up in Scotland, north of about an hour and a quarter north of both Glasgow and Edinburgh, there's a place called Crieff, and they have a Crieff Hydro resort there.
Okay.
That is a wonderful location for groups because it's got some 200 plus bedrooms.
Yeah.
Of all different shapes, from bedrooms and hotels to in their lodges and so forth. And it works really well because it's got lots of meeting space, lots of dining space, lots of activities possible, and so forth. So that works really well. That's really well. That's up there. It's countryside. You just look and all you can see is rural around you. If you want to go to the city centre, one of my favourite locations, venues, hotels, is the King Street Townhouse in Manchester, which is it's in the true sense of the word, it's a top boutique hotel. It has just 40 bedrooms, and that can work very well for exclusive use for a group.
Okay.
And we have used it for exclusive use for a group in the past. So it does work. 40 bedrooms, okay, that's bigger than some groups, but it can work.
Yeah.
And just be able to have a whole hotel to yourself is rather jolly nice, as they say.
Yeah, absolutely. No, lovely.
And right in the city centre of Manchester, you can walk to everything from there.
That's what I was going to say. There's lots of stuff on your doorstep as well, isn't there, in
Absolutely.
Manchester?
Yeah.
Like team building or drinks and kind of other activities.
Oh yeah, and indeed, there's so many new different activities you can. It's interesting, just on the side here, the amount of new activities that have come on stream in the last 12, 18 months, which you start hearing about, and they're not necessarily all high adrenaline ones, but they're just something that's just good for people to be able to get out and do, because the demands in an event now are not just to go into the meeting room, sit down, have a cup of coffee and a biscuit, and then go back and then come out and have a buffet lunch. People want more than that, and people need to be in the workplace, need to be stimulated more than just a dry meeting.
Yeah, no, sounds fantastic. Sounds great, very exciting. Okay, advise us of a hidden gem from your destination that overseas clients might not otherwise know about. So something that you know and that we don't know about.
Well, I've got a couple of those. Then I've gone to England and Scotland, of the two. Now, in Scotland, there's so much in terms of the scenery and so forth, but some of the best parts are on the west coast of Scotland. The white sandy beaches are absolutely unbelievable. The sort of thing that people think that only exists overseas.
Far away. Oh, really?
Far away. But this, the sandy beaches there of the Isles of Scotland and on the west coast are just and then of course as well the Highlands, the spectacular scenery of the Highlands is unbelievable. Really, it's just fabulous, and so that's probably tend to be less well known for most people. And then my new favourite, Jo, is in the middle of England is the Cotswolds, because it is the picture. It's sort of picture perfect place, really, with the lovely stone buildings and it's got so much history to do. And about 100 plus years ago, the arts and crafts movement, which was in East London, they moved to the Cotswolds. And then you've got these wonderful crafts places, such as I went to 2 weeks ago, a company called Hearts in Chipping Camden, and they are silversmiths, and they're on about their fourth or fifth generation now, and they produce from a flat piece of silver those wonderful things like, say, a coffee pot or whatever it wants to be.
Wow, how talented!
And it's as crafts which people admire. Yeah, and it's the sort of thing that you go anyway. The whole of the Cotswolds is just fabulous to visit, and there's so much opportunity, and it's almost, you just can slow down when you get to the Cotswolds.
You can relax.
You haven't got the fevered pace
around.
Yeah,
but can you do both then, the corporate side, so have a meeting out there, then kind of team it up with like 2 days of, say, a retreat in the Cotswolds and the Highlands?
Well, you could do, if you got that, you could do the both of those together. Absolutely. I mean, the constraint, of course, would be time, of course, travel between the two things. But you can certainly, respectively, in each location, you could do if you're in Scotland, you could do a city centre, then go out to the coast and things like that, and down in the Cotswolds. In the Cotswolds, you could do everything all together in one place, really, because it's all close together.
Very close.
You're not traveling for sort of 2 hours. Once you're in the Cotswolds, you're not traveling for 2 hours from the hotel to a place where you can do some incentive activities or whatever. It's all very, very close. And then, of course, so if you imagine that, then Stratford upon Avon's right and Warwick and so forth sit right on the edge of the Cotswolds themselves. So there's so much that's possible.
Lot to do. Yeah, no, fantastic. And what about cost point of view? Is it quite expensive? Is it kind of budget, or depending on what you're?
It's not budget. I mean, only because what I'd say is, as a DMC, we work in the 4 and 5 star category of what we produce. So everything on, I mean, if as a price point, if you assume that everything, we don't offer, and we don't do the 3-star stuff, not because we don't want to. Well, we just, to a certain extent, we prefer to concentrate on the 4 and the 5-star market.
Yeah, for the full quality.
There's so many exciting things you can do with budget.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that sounds really exciting, actually. I think they're quite two destinations that get missed, don't they, in the UK?
It very much so, and it's very difficult for people from overseas to, if I say the Cotswolds, a lot of people from overseas won't necessarily have heard of the Cotswolds.
Yeah.
I can say that, and that's why we're trying to broaden the offer to take people further. Actually, it's not that far if you fly into Birmingham.
No, not at all.
To Birmingham.
Yeah.
And even not that far if you fly into London either. Yeah. So that these things are doable, and
just having the knowledge, isn't it, where to go and what to do.
Exactly. Yes, that's right. So
fantastic. Very exciting. Okay, so what is your contribution to sustainable travel?
Well, that's again a very interesting thing, because it's very much of the moment now. We've all got to start playing our part in sustainability. We do our best to ensure that all our suppliers that we're using, from the meeting venues, the restaurants, the hotel, the transportation, etc., are themselves being responsible and sustainable in the way they're using and providing their services. And that just goes across a whole range of things. And so it's a work in progress, I think, is a fair way to describe it.
Yeah,
it's
no, exactly. Makes
sense.
We
aren't going to get it by the first, by the 1st of December. 2022, it'll still be going on and on and on.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that we have now just started to switch. We always used to provide people on the coaches or the buses with a plastic bottle of water.
Yeah.
And we just switched. I don't know if I'm going to get this right. This thing here, it's called a can of water.
Okay.
And it has a lid. There we go. So
oh wow.
when I first thought about it, I thought that's no good. You open the can and it's open. No, but this has now the reason cans are better than plastic bottles. This is not a campaign. This is just facts I read. Is that the rate of plastic bottles being recycled percentage is very low compared to cans.
Wow.
So
that's a good idea. Actually, I've never seen that. You know.
Well, it's new. It was new to me.
Yep.
And I've now, and in fact, I saw this and I ordered some. I got 2 trays of it sitting downstairs.
Can you refill them then as well, then, Nick?
Well, I suppose you could do, but these are, it's a natural spring. Where we got
spring water.
Spring water.
Wow, it's a great idea. That is.
So it's but also what they so that's one thing I thought. Well, that's something we can do as opposed to just giving the old plastic bottles, because we all see so many plastic bottles just strewn everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. But it takes time, though, doesn't it? It's going to take time. Like, I think I worked in hotels for years, and they've slowly been kind of incorporating sustainability as time goes on. But it's an ongoing process, isn't it? It's a work in progress. I think for the next 20 years, I think it's just going to keep going on, isn't it? Till we get to a point everything's eco-friendly.
I think as long as we're all doing a little bit ourselves, every person does their little bit,
absolutely.
then we'll get somewhere. But we shouldn't look at it as a big mountain. We should look at it as we each take a step. So baby steps produces the bigger steps and so forth.
Absolutely.
That's how I look at it anyway. So
no, it's a great idea. I spoke to a client the other day, actually, Hilton. They're opening a new hotel in Shoreditch, Canopy by Hilton, and it's all eco-friendly. So everything they've got in the hotel is kind of aimed at sustaining everything's eco-friendly, from the gas to the electricity to everything. So it's not open yet till the 20th of September, but it's a new concept, I think, for the UK, which is quite exciting, actually.
Well, those are, and I think those things there need to be. There's a couple of properties in Manchester which are doing similar things as well.
Okay.
So I think those properties are going to do well, and they will be watched as to how well they behave as well.
Yeah.
Because once you wave your flag and say I'm this, then you've got to
follow it through, haven't they?
Follow it through, you know. So it's so that's why I'm very conscious to say we suddenly haven't transformed ourselves as a company from not doing anything to doing it all.
Yeah, of course.
We're on a road, and on a journey.
Yeah, it's all about a journey. It's a journey.
Everything we do in life is a journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
no, I think that's all we can do, isn't it, for the moment? Is to try and make it do, just like you said, do baby steps.
Yeah. So
work together on it.
But I'm excited about my can.
I love the can. I think it's a great idea. It's brilliant.
So, and this will be given that people will not have a choice. We will not supply plastic bottles of water now to any of our clients on the buses.
I think it makes sense, absolutely.
And there's a slightly higher price difference, but hey, it's only a few pennies more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you have to be sort of, you know. Anyway, that's what I
mindful of it as well. Yeah, no, exactly. No, it makes sense. It's a great idea. It's brilliant. Okay. So back to the pandemic. So tell us about a recent meeting, event or tour that's happened or planned in the last 2 years during COVID, if any.
Well, we had. I have to say that we have to go back into pre-lockdown.
Yeah.
A last big event, and that happened to be actually at Crieff Hydro in Scotland. And it was for a Scandinavian recycling company.
Oh, okay.
Quite coincidentally,
quite apt, isn't it?
There wasn't supposed to be an easy link there. It's just I just realised that I thought it was. But so they had at the beginning of last year. They each year they have a get together of their top people and.
Okay.
And the awards and so forth. And this event last year, beginning of last year, was for 200 people, and they came from 7 different countries. And where they've each got, they only have them from delegates only come obviously from where they have an operation.
Okay.
And the events only ever take place where they have an operation. So in other words, because they don't have an operation in the United States, they wouldn't have a meeting in the United States, but because they do have an operation in the UK, it was the UK's turn to do it. So we had a group of 200 people. We had a whole range of at the Crieff Hydro, and we had meetings. We had all range of activities they could do outside, which, as I mentioned before, about on that resort property, and that was spread over 3 days and 2 nights. And we had on one night it was only 2 nights. On the gala dinner night, it was James Bond themed event.
Oh, nice!
Wonderful thing. We had wonderfully decorated in there. We had a couple of Aston Martins, which you have hanging around just in case.
Oh, nice! Very nice. Yeah.
we happen to know somebody who has a couple of Aston Martins. So they were able to. They didn't quite take over the whole place, but they had a good try at it.
Okay.
And then after that was on the Thursday till a Saturday, and on the Saturday they dropped down into Glasgow, and Edinburgh had country meetings for 24 hours in their respective places.
Okay.
So it was a wonderfully exciting event, and the result was that we got the feedback was it was the best one they'd ever done.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
And it's always nice to get feedback like that. I don't need
absolutely.
The best one they've ever done. That'll do for me.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Fantastic.
So, and we're looking forward to doing more things similar to that. You know, as everybody is.
Yeah, no, fingers crossed. I think it is picking up now, isn't it? Clients are getting more and more kind of confident. Going on from your best event ever, what would your dream event be, Nick?
Oh, dearie me. That is very difficult. I have to hold my hand up and say I don't particularly have a dream event per se. What I would say, because everything we do for clients is, and also my tastes change as I go forward. You know, you hear about something new, and you hear about new things are possible and so forth. So my dreams keep changing, if you like.
What would you like to do though? What would you like?
Well, one thing I have done, it's a good example of something. I'd like to give you an example of something I did do, which I always wanted to do for years and years and years. I wanted to have a dinner on board the former Royal Yacht Britannia in Edinburgh.
Oh, nice.
And because I've seen the pictures and I've seen the videos, the way it works, and a couple of years ago I got to do this event, and oh my gosh, it is fantastic.
Really?
You have to have a good budget. I'll be fair to say that you have a good budget, but when you can sit at the same, when the guests can sit on the same sofas that the Queen and members of her family has sat on, and they can go into the dining room there and have dinner in the same location, and it's served to the same manner today as it was served when the Queen was hosting dinners on board there. And you get piped on board, and it's just, it's absolutely. Yeah, it's breathtaking, and I was just so excited when it happened.
Oh, I can imagine, and all of it, isn't it?
And it's
prestigious venue, really.
Well, and the reason the reason I think it's important that it is a premium price venue, but the point is, if it wasn't, it wouldn't have the same cachet, it wouldn't have the same thing, and that's the point about it. So is that
just an evening do then, or a whole day event?
No, it's an evening do. It's only available to use either before or after it's open to the public during the daytime.
Oh, okay.
So, but I mean, you could get. I mean, you still got. I mean, when people arrive and they get piped on board and they get a glass of champagne put in their hands and they get to go have a little tour of the ship, you know, from everything, including the engine room and all, and they get dazzled by the brass shining on the.
Wow, whole experience, isn't it? Really,
so it's just a good experience. And then after dinner, when the group sat there, and then one of the guys in the group was a pianist, so they could sit and play the piano, and they was, you know, just sitting there. I mean, this is really, but doing it this way, if you or I went during the daytime, we couldn't sit on those sofas. We couldn't play the piano because that's not allowed. You can look at it, but that's as far as you go.
Yeah.
but to be able to do that to that level, I think was that, as I say, that was a previous dream, and it turned out to be true.
Oh, fantastic. No, that sounds amazing. It's a great venue, actually, isn't it? That's only in London as well, but it's based in London.
Sorry, Edinburgh.
Oh, Edinburgh. Oh, okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are similar things that you can do, down at Greenwich and so forth, on ships and so forth down. But there's only one Royal Yacht Britannia, and
Right, okay.
so this was they when it came out of service, they bid for where it was going to go, and a lot of people wanted to go back to Glasgow because the ship was built in Glasgow originally.
Right, okay.
But and anyway, Edinburgh got it, and it is now one of the top tourist attractions in the UK.
Edinburgh. Oh wow, no, sounds fabulous. I need to get there.
Let me know.
Yeah, when I'm down, when I'm up there, I'll come and see you, Nick.
So I'll take you on a tour, and there'll be one thing that will surprise you. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is. There'll be one thing you go, oh my God, how do they get that on the ship?
Oh really? Oh, yeah. I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to come up and see it now.
There you go.
All right. Okay. So where are we now? So how can you accommodate clients who are still apprehensive about booking overseas events post-COVID? Because there's still quite a few people that are a little bit unsure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, what all the hospitality businesses, the responsible hospitality businesses and hotels and venues and destinations and DMCs like ourselves, we have to keep up to date with all the changing guidance and guidelines and so forth that's been going on. But there's a standard which is so the official UK mark, if you like, is we're good to go. That's it's almost a brand in itself. We're good to go, and that is recognizes that those tourism hospitality businesses have worked hard to follow the government and the industry guidelines that relating to post-COVID-19 in all areas to be able to keep people safe. And that's a sort of general one, so people can have confidence that when they come off the plane and get on come through the airport, and then they get on that transport to go into wherever they're going from there. Yeah. The coach is safe, it's clean, and so forth, and then the same thing will follow through on everything else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the other thing that we're doing is we're offering, providing every guest what we're calling our handy hygiene pack, which contains hand sanitizer, some face masks, and antibacterial wipes. It's a small pack. We give them to everybody, and people's choice to use or not to use them accordingly.
Great idea, yeah.
But we found out when I was looking for hand sanitizer, I thought, I don't know these bottles, but I found, let's see it, it's like a little pen.
Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? And great idea.
So that's, oh God, I've got to put it further down.
It's really handy.
Yeah, so it's something that people can just put in their handbag or their thing and so forth. But it's better than, I thought, given that it's better than giving people a bottle.
Yeah, so big bottle, yeah.
It's just literally like a pen on the top.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's a great idea.
So that, I mean, we're doing that because we're taking this thing very seriously, and it's, my view is you make it available to people, then people choose accordingly what they want.
Absolutely.
People don't want to wear a face mask. They don't want to use the pen. They don't want to use the hand sanitizer, antibacterial wipes and so forth. If they don't want to use them, well, that's their choice. That's fine. That's their choice. Yeah, exactly. But we're doing our little bit to help.
Absolutely. No, that's a great idea. It's a great. I love it. I love the pack's a great idea. I think that's all we can do for the moment, isn't it? Really, it's kind of building the confidence for the clients, giving them the things and the tools that they can be safe in the destination. And in the UK now, we're kind of working really hard to get back to normal anyway. So it is kind of, life's very much back to normal now in the UK going forward. So hopefully it stays that way too. Yeah.
Well, indeed, exactly. I totally agree with you, for sure. So
fingers crossed. No, it sounds like a great idea, Nick. I think again, this next question is kind of follows through from the other question, is how is your destination embracing duty of care to incoming guests? And what are hotels, venues, restaurants, etc. doing to ensure this? I think we've covered that already, haven't we, really, in kind of making sure with the face masks and hand sanitizers.
Yeah, and obviously the different hotels, in my experience, having been to a lot of hotels in the last couple of months, everybody's got different ideas as to how much, whether they're going to take a temperature when you get to the front
Yeah.
door, or whether they just sort of say come on in, and so I think there's no hotel that's going to, or venue that's going to not take this seriously.
Yeah, no, I agree, absolutely.
It would be foolish for them not to do so. So I feel comfortable now that everybody's doing it, because and if not least, if it's purely because people want the business, they want clients back in the door.
Absolutely.
So it will
Yeah,
be
I
foolish.
totally
So
agree with you. I was at conference last week and in London, staying at the Mondo in Shoreditch, and I find most hotels and convex and exhibitions, everyone's still wearing them. Everyone that's working there still wearing their masks. So the guests have got a choice if they want to wear them or not. But I think they are literally, like you said, making sure that they're covering themselves, making sure the hotels and the exhibitions and the venues are safe for the guests to attend and have a great experience. And they'll happily wear the mask and do all the hand sanitizing, etc., to make sure that their experience is a good experience.
No, exactly. And I was in when I was in the Cotswolds, there was when I went out to lunch with my colleague, they only there was only one menu. They put one menu on the table. I thought, oh well, I'm just going to get one from the other table. And then one of the waiting staff said, no, you're not allowed to take that one. We'll give you a new one.
Yeah.
They and I thought, well, it's interesting. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
I thought a piece of paper, but they were concerned that they had, their standard was a menu, new one for everybody. And I thought that was something I thought
good. Yeah, really good.
I applauded them for doing that, and I apologized. I said, I'm sorry.
Oh, bless you. Yeah. No, I think everyone, like you said, I think everyone's really on it, and they're really keen to get customers back through the door, and they're really going that extra mile to ensure that their guests are having a great experience and returning again, because that's the key, isn't it? They can come in once and not come back, but they want that return loyalty back to their venues and their restaurants, etc. But it's nice to see the UK is kind of nearly back to normal, so it's quite exciting times, I think, for the UK.
Oh, that's true. And I've been to the theatre as well since in
recent years.
And so
how was it?
It was good, and most people were wearing masks in the
really? Oh, good.
So it wasn't a socially, I know it wasn't socially distanced. It wasn't like my wife and I sit there, then 2 seats gap, and then other people. We had full people all around us.
Oh,
I think for everybody around us was wearing masks.
They were.
So they were wearing masks, and so I thought that's good, because it's to do with how we feel about thinking about other people rather than just yourself.
Yeah,
that's the important thing. And I thought, so I've gone to theatre, I've gone to restaurants, I've been and stayed in hotels, all those things, and I think, and I'm not really big on going to shops because it's much easier to do it on the computer at home. But I mean, but anyway, yeah. So I think things are
moving in the right direction, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going the right. Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah. I agree. Absolutely. No, I think it's great to see that we'll get back to some sort of normal, kind of pre-post COVID normal, whatever it is now, but some sort of normal. Yeah.
Indeed.
No, it's exciting. I think it's great. So, we need it now, though, don't we? We need the normal back.
Oh, absolutely. Because people forget. People got institutionalized too quickly.
And it's easy though, isn't it? Because we are, what is it? If it's 14 days to change a habit, isn't it?
Yeah,
so being at home for 18 months, we're literally Netflix couch potatoes right now, aren't we?
That's for sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. Okay, last question. Is your destination an amazing destination, and is it worth traveling out to, Nick?
100%. Yes. I feel like I'm on the TV. Yes. Yes. And okay, so let's see. I'm biased. I love the UK. I traveled all over the world during my working career, but for the last 15 years I've been a UK DMC, and I just really love the country wherever we are, because it has so much in a very small landmass. It has so much to offer.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, because you've got the history, you've got culture, we've got an active and historic monarchy, which is very appealing to a lot of overseas visitors, and amazing venues. You've got cities, you've got rural locations, you've got coastlines, you've got scenery, we've got the four seasons, and every type of weather you can think of, sunshine to snow and rain. Yeah, well, we have a lot of rain, but it keeps things green outside.
It keeps it lush, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Keeps it lush and so forth. So I think, so 100%, yes, it's definitely a destination worth traveling to. And there's always a conversation to be had by somebody who wants to come. If people have got, I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody who wants to come to the UK, because the event, you don't have to think in hundreds of people. If you've got a group of 10 people, then let's have a conversation about it. And I'm always a great believer, by the way, in doing the best you can for the budget you've got.
Absolutely, yeah.
Rather than trying to stretch it too much, and so looking at how you're going to spend your money is spend your budget is very, very important.
No, absolutely. And like you just said, the UK has got so much to offer for every age group, for every kind of type of activity or kind of, you know, event or incentive or conference, exhibition, incentive program. So much it offers in such a small island. So we can do whatever you really need to do for the client and their needs.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, there's always new things coming on stream, and that's why I'm also a great believer in the fact that you never learnt it all. There's always something new. The day you think you learnt it all is the day you maybe should go and do something else. But I've learnt about lots of new things in the last few weeks alone. Yep. I think, God, that's got to go into a proposal. I've got to pitch that to a client and so forth, you know, and
it's quite exciting times, isn't it, after COVID? Because quite a lot of new hotels are opening up, lots of new pop-up event places. I was in Shoreditch on Wednesday. There's quite a lot of new venues where you can do all the content creating, you can do all your Instagram posts, you can do your videos, which you can incorporate in a team building, because you can do a morning of your meeting, do half the afternoon, create a podcast or something. But there's so much choice now in the UK, depending on what your needs are. It's amazing. It's mind-blowing, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
It's fantastic. For a little island, we've got a lot to offer, I think.
Yeah, we do. we pack a powerful punch for the size.
We do, absolutely. No, fantastic. No, brilliant. Thank you, Nick. I think you've answered all my questions. That's been amazing. Do you have anything else you want to add to the viewers? Well,
no, just to everybody out there, get in contact with Jo, and then she'll tell me what people want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give us a shout, reach out to us. We're more than happy to give you advice and support on any of the destinations covered with Nick today. Nick's got a wealth of knowledge and can kind of advise you in the right things going forward. But thank you everybody for listening to us. It's been amazing. We look forward to seeing and hearing from you soon. Take care. Thanks again, Nick.
No problem at all. Thanks very much now.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.